or die. Hey, swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide. Always down and ready to ride. One by 1 billion by billion.
Hey everybody, I'm Tim and welcome to Cigars Daily Live, coming to you from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, with a kickoff to an episode that's got my throat all over down in my stomach, and my stomach's up in my throat. How does it work? Your stomach goes up to your throat.
Stomach goes into your throat.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Traditionally not a terribly nervous person, but tonight the kickoff of this show's got me a little angsty. It's not often I do something and immediately come to regret it, but today that's exactly what's happened right here. Let me give you guys an intro to the show, and then I'll tell you what's got me so up in the butterflies in my stomach type thing. My name is Tim. I'm the host of this show, and tonight we are talking about something epic in the cigar world, because tonight we're into Hot Off the Press. Explore the latest craft cigars. These cigars are hot off the press, meaning they've just come out of the factory after several months worth of resting. So they're not that hot. They've had a little bit of time to cool off in a very cold wicking room. That's all beside the point. These blends are so hot among aficionados that in some cases, you're going to have a tough time finding these cigars. Now, my name is Tim. I'm the host of this show, and all of you watching at home, you are the co-host. Your comments and questions will drive this episode, so drop them down below because we're going to get to them in just a second. But I have to tell you, to help me run this shindig, I rely on the best of people in the cigar industry, second to none. Sitting behind the camera tonight is Billy from Saved by the Bell. All right, Saved by the Bell. I love that shirt, Billy. You're looking very, very Zach Slater. Got out of college, didn't use his degree, and got a minimum wage job in the county.
I'll take it.
All right, and sitting next to him is Terren's king of stuff.
I'll be the king of something. Don't worry.
Hey, your scepter's showing there, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Your scepter's sticking out there, guy.
Sorry, I was
All
just
right.
excited to see you.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys what this pile of boxes is next to me on the desk. For the podcast listeners, there are about 8 boxes with random numbers sitting next to me on the desk. We're going to get straight into that. And sitting next to me, to my right, the man of the hour, Ryan, destroyer of Liga Privadas, who is fresh back from his 19th wedding anniversary trip. Him and his wife visited one of the world's most prestigious and sought out tourist destinations, Las Vegas.
Fremont Street.
Fremont Street in Las Vegas.
Fremont Street. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was
I
very,
didn't
very
pull that.
entertaining.
I did not pull the picture of you smoking a cigar with a boa constrictor around your neck, which is not the name of a woman. It's actual snake.
Yes, it was.
So
2 of them.
good for you. Good for you. I'm very happy that you're back and don't have the hip. All right, let's dive in. So here's what's going on. You notice none of us have cigars around here right now. That's what I want to get into, because I was going through, and really this week a lot of sensational stuff is just rolling out of Nicaragua and Honduras. I mean, new blends, the cigars that people have been looking forward to from particular manufacturers. And so I wanted to take you guys into that. Billy, keep starting the comments because I want to get to them.
People are freaking out about the boxes.
People, what are people saying about the box?
What's in the box?
Jordan Salas. I want to know what the box is with pi on it. 3.14. See
There's
what
also-
you do? You throw a decimal in there and it freaks everybody out.
Like, wait,
what the
There's
hell?
no pattern here now.
Rob Cunningham, before Terrence put on the crown, thought
It was Blackula for
Blackula for Halloween. I was gonna pronounce Blackula wrong. I thought it was Blackula for. That's pretty funny. All right, keep going. What else? What else we've gotten in people's heads? Double Portion Farm says, what's with the numbers? Guess how many times guys Tim's knocked out? No, that is not the point tonight. Here's what we did. I took the new cigars that have come out and I put them into these boxes. Now, here's how we're going to do this. Normally before Cigars Daily Live, the way that this show works is the guys come in and Billy, what do you ask me before the show? Do you remember?
What are we?
What are we smoking tonight?
What are
Well,
we enjoying?
we wouldn't smoke anything.
Technically, you're right.
Yes.
There's no
Yes.
actual smoking on this show. So what are we enjoying tonight? That is Terrence,
Yes.
what are you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Usually, I'm like, "Hey, what are we enjoying tonight?" Probably about 15 minutes before the cameras go live.
Yeah, 15 minutes before the show starts, the guys start to ask me, what are we doing tonight? Because that's typically how far before the show I know what's going on tonight. And I'll tell them, and usually there's a to whoever decoded this, you are sleuthy and belong in the CIA.
Good old
Congratulations. You clearly passed middle school. So typically I tell the guys, I'm like, hey, go check it out. And there's an array of cigars that they get to pick. So they really do get to pick, but there's normally a range of cigars because it's always sort of topical what we're doing on this show. Tonight we have 8 different cigars. There's only 4 of us. And I could have just thrown it out there and been like, hey, pick what you want to do tonight.
That's
But
not fun.
That's not fun at all.
guess technically there's 10 cigars.
Technically, there are 10 cigars. So but here's what I'm going to do. In these boxes are the 8 new releases, and I'm going to show you guys what they are right now. Then we're going to go around the room. Everybody's going to pick a number, and that's going to be what it is, and the other 4 get to go off. Here's the other 4 won't be shown on this show, I guess. Sorry, my logo isn't facing. There we go. The other 4 I'm going to set aside. Here's why I'm so anxious. I forgot what cigars were in what numbered box. And there's one that I like need you guys not to pick, but I forgot what number it
I'm
is.
figuring it out.
And I can't, but I also, even if I remembered what number it is, I can't tell you guys, like, don't pick box number whatever, because then it would be a fixed game and it wouldn't be fun.
Right.
So one of these boxes has like $360 worth of cigars in it that I cannot afford to give one of these guys. But if they pick it, I'm going to. And so I'm very anxious about this. Let's go through what I'm about to show you is in no particular order. And for everybody who's saying pick box 69, thank you.
69.
All right, guys. Everybody's getting laid later. All right. 770 is the latest 155 millimeter artillery gun. Thank you, military nerd in the house. Okay. I appreciate that comment. I don't even know what that means. Let's start off with some cigars. So here's what's in these 8 boxes in absolutely no order at all. Terrence, the first one is Karen Burgers 25th anniversary. 25th anniversary by AJ Fernandez. Now, AJ Fernandez, this is not a brand new cigar to the market. It's new to my humidor. And I have fallen in love with it. Karen Burger's a cigar maker who is sweeping the nation right now and has got some really incredible stuff. But the K-Fire by Karen Burger caught me off guard. So then I said, I better try the 25th anniversary, and I've been just as impressed with it. Now, after that, I got to go through these fast because there's 8 of them. Of course, my father's Jaime Garcia Reserva Especial Connecticut, which is a brand new nationwide release, quite a flavorful and medium-bodied Connecticut cigar. After that is the very, very unique African CAO Arcana Thunder Smoke.
I want to try that.
Now, this cigar particularly uses different leaves from different parts of Africa. Now, you might be familiar with African Cameroon wrapper leaf. There is some Cameroon in that cigar, but it's also got some South African leaf in it, along with one other, I guess,
Nigeria. I think it's Nigeria.
I think it's Nigeria. So anyway, a very, very African cigar. Not the first African cigar ever, but definitely good and balanced. And like CAO, they doing a damn fine job with their limited edition series. Next is Southern Draw's Decennium. After 10 years of making cigars, Southern Draw has put out these 3 packs of their 10th anniversary cigar in a Lonsdale size only. 6x46, I believe, is the size.
Smoke, yeah.
It's a great
Good
size to get amazing flavor out of almost any blend. I like the Lonsdale. This one's dark, really rich on flavor, very good. The next one is the Cigars Daily Edition. Aganorsa, La Validacion, Connecticut, and Corojo.
Oh.
That box
Yeah.
gonna have both blends in it.
Ooh.
All right, and then after that is this one. Now this one you guys got to know. Terrence is gunning for this.
Oh,
Okay,
yep.
this
You
is
don't say.
This is the El Rey del Mundo, King of the World, limited edition El Rey del Mundo. If you look at Terrence tonight, he's dressed up as El Rey del Terrence, the King of Terrence, because he is the King of the World, and he is absolutely only wanting to smoke that cigar, which I got to say is one of the most unique blends that I have had to date.
It's up there with the Thunder Smoke. When it comes to how unique a blend is, that and Thunder Smoke, they have flavors that I've never gotten from any other cigar before. So I really want to smoke another one.
All right, now we're itching to get to these. So we got 2 more left to go. My father's Don Pepin Garcia vintage. Thank you. Victoria was the only word in my mind. Starts with a V. I can think of it. The vintage, really good cigar. Again, Don Pepin line just continues to spread out. I've got questions about this one. Pick door number 3 from MN Drummer. And the last one is the one that I do not want someone to pick.
Oh.
One of these boxes has
The
a
legend.
Fuente y Padron collaboration in them. Each one of these 2 cigars
Mm.
goes for as much as, I don't know, what types of things cost $180?
A really
It's
nice
expensive.
pair of sneakers.
Yeah, a pair of sneakers, a
My
vacuum
entire
cleaner from
paycheck after I
Costco.
spend it on cigars.
Yeah, so there's about, that's a lot of money. All right. There you have it. Now,
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and
did
say
you
I'm
pick?
thinking of a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to ask you guys to guess. Whoever gets the closest to my 1 and 10 number gets to go first. So I'm thinking of a number now. Ryan, what's yours?
2.
2. Billy?
6.
6. Terrence?
5.
5. Terrence has guessed right. My number, which by the way, I do not want to give this away. I hope is if my wife is watching with my son, he cannot watch. Here's the deal. My entire life, and my kids don't know this. Every time that I've asked my kids to, like, hey, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10, guess it. I have picked the same number every single time my entire
No.
life. My kids have never
Mm.
figured this out.
Really?
The number
That's
is
interesting.
always 4.
Oh.
Interesting.
It's 4 every single time. I always pick the number 4, and they have not clued in on this. And whoever gets closest to 4 gets it. Terrence, you've got the first one. What do you pick?
Pick Terrence.
I'll come over and pick, or would you just want me to tell you?
I'll tell you. Just tell me what it is.
Choose wisely.
Choose why. Put the pictures back up so people can.
Yeah. all
People are
right.
going to tell you in the comments. I want to say what people. All right. Scott Womble says. Oops. Leroy says. All right. Scott Womble says. Wife says 88.
You know what? And since I'm Mr. Pineapple, I have to listen to your wife. I'll go.
All
with
right.
88.
We're gonna pick what the wife says.
88.
Start listening to
88.
women one time, see what happens. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Let's see if let's see if that helped Terrence.
Thank you, Tim. I
All
have
right.
to procure
The
this
next
and open
closest without going over was Billy.
No, it was.
Without going over,
without going.
you were
over.
2, so you have to go last.
Okay.
What? You were 6, right?
But you said without going over.
Without
They both
going
went
over.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, I said without going over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so technically it would be Ryan next.
Shoot.
That's
Go ahead,
okay.
Ryan.
I'm used to being last.
All right,
Hey, nice guys finish last, Ryan. Okay.
Billy, what do you got?
Oh, all right. So I've done a lot of
Ooh.
deducing to figure out. What'd you get?
I got the king of the world.
There it
That's
is.
how
He got the
Scott's
king.
wife.
Thank God,
That's how
dude.
Scott's
That
wife.
actually worked out very
sir.
nicely.
All right, Scott's wife. You're on point, Scott. Bro, listen to your wife, bro. Listen to your wife. All right.
I'm going with Brian H, and I'm going 42.
42. Why do we pick number 42? Because it is, where is it? It's down here.
Under
Very
pie.
bottom.
42 is the answer to the question about life, the universe, and everything. All right, there we go. All right. 42.
Is there 1 or 2 in there? Give it-
Don't shake it. Don't shake it. Oh gosh. There's
Oh.
what's left of one.
All right. Let's see. Ryan, who rightfully should have gone first and is now going second to last.
I will go with 3.14.
3.14.
3.14.
You picked pie.
I picked pie. I like pie.
All right.
Like do you like pie as like you like circles, or do you just like the food
I like
pie?
the ratio of the circumference
All,
to the
all
diameter.
3 times, by the way, you guys picked the box that was on the bottom in the middle. Like I kept having to rearrange it to get on the bottom in the middle.
You're welcome, Tim.
I got the Don Pipon.
Don
Don
Pepin,
Pepin.
the
Vintage.
vintage.
Nice.
Now
Good.
I feel like. Now, once again, I do not remember what is in these boxes at all. I put the cigars into these boxes, I taped them up, and then I scrambled them around and wrote numbers on them. But I feel like it's responsible for me to pick something that I know is important here in the group. So I'm either picking number 69
What'd you get, Ryan?
or 8008. I think I'm going to go with 8008.
Ryan, what'd
Yep.
you end up getting?
I got the CAO Arcana
Thunder Smoke.
Thunder Smoke. Is Arcana?
I think it's Arcana.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Ian says, speaking of wives, I better get back to cleaning the house before she gets home. Don't do it, Ian. Get around to it in 6 months. That's what you want to do there. All right. For my pick for the night, I'm going to pick 8008. I think that's only responsible.
That's fair.
Everyone says Tim picks 777. Brian H says 1125. Leroy says boob. All right. I'm doing it. Rather than my favorite number 69.
It's gonna be the
My
biggest,
gaming
the biggest band I've ever seen on a cigar.
Ooh.
That band is gidumbus, right?
I have
This
to
one's
take it
got
off to
2
smoke.
cigars in it.
Oh, lucky
Uh-oh.
you.
If you picked your one that you didn't
Oh,
want us
no.
to
I
pick,
picked the $360 worth of cigars.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Yeah, now smoke it, Tim. Set it on
Both of
fire.
them.
Both of them.
Smoke
Same
down.
time. Smoke it. Right now. What you got?
These are the daily edition La Validaciones from
okay.
Aganorsa Leaf. Oh, thank goodness. I mean, somewhere in here still is the
The Legends
legends.
collaboration.
All right. We're going to set these off to the side. Drop your cigar comments and questions down below. We're going to take them all the way throughout the episode. We have got so much good stuff going on tonight. And I do still get a pick from the 2 Aganorsa La Validacion daily edition cigars. Terrence, you can throw that one up there. These landed just this week at the Cigars Daily HQ. 2 new takes on Aganorsa's La Validacion. I'm going to do a whole video about it. You might even see, we'll probably eventually at some point do a whole live episode about just the daily edition projects. But with this one, we took the box pressed La Validacion Connecticut and Corojo, and we rolled them round,
Yes.
which increases the filler volume, which matters with these particular blends because Aganorsa doesn't blend for wrapper leaf influence on flavor. What that means is the flavor profile from a lot of Aganorsa stuff comes from the binder and filler. While most cigars get their character of flavor from that wrapper leaf, Aganorsa gives you that Criollo and Corojo leaf in the filler that creates this really nice, very robust, with a little bit of spice, salt on the roof of the mouth,
Yeah.
amazingness that people have come to love. All right. Well, we got a lot going on in the comments. I see Bon Hojo's just like, boobies. All right, there we go. We have reduced our entire audience to what we all
It's
really
third grade
are.
math.
Third grade math.
All right,
Right.
Billy. While Tim's doing something on that camera,
Yeah, what I'm gonna do
let's
my
read
thing
some
here.
comments together.
Yeah, let's get through. There's not a lot of saved, but here we go. This is from Karen S. This is
Karen
not Karen
S.
Berger.
Karen Berger. Karen S.
Hey, CD Nation. I'm pairing a Diesel Worthy Fool with the root beer.
Have you had the Worthy Fool?
I have had a Worthy Fool. I
Have you
haven't had
had
root
root
beer,
beer?
and I haven't had literally since November of last year. I have not had a single.
Are you
root beer.
scarred?
I am very much scarred.
You've spilled that many? You can't even drink one?
Yeah.
You just keep spilling them?
No,
All
I
right.
just don't drink it. I just don't even look
Oh.
at it. I stay away from it. Billy, what's the next comment, my man?
Slendy says Amazon blue shirt is in the house. Billiam is styling prime style. Yes, he is. He looks very to Billy. Can I ask you a question? When
Yeah.
you buy a shirt like that, like what goes through your head? Tell us a little bit. about it.
Nothing, because my wife bought it for me.
Ah,
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
there we go.
there we go.
I just want to get that. I want to get that shirt more in the shot over there.
There we
Naturally.
go. Yes.
All right, keep it coming. Get the comments. Drop your cigar comments question down below. We're gonna slam through a bunch of them right now. And I've got. Oh, I see a really good one right there. I'm gonna start for you, Billy. The amateur says cigar comment. Thank you for labeling it. We appreciate that. This has how we know it's not a question, even though it does end with a question mark. I purge about halfway through nearly every cigar. Some flame for a couple of seconds, while some flame for quite some time. Does this mean that some sort of quality issue? Well, that's a fascinating one. Jim and I talk about this in the office a lot because I'll get cigars and I'll do the purge thing, right? I blow on it, you light blowing through the cigar, and if it holds a flame, I'll do the circular breathing thing. Like I'll puff up my cheeks, blow flame out the tip, and then breathe in through my nose at the same time. And this is something that Jim always is like, oh, is that not a good cigar? And I'm like, no, it's a very, like, I've had $50, $60 cigars. I've had $100 cigars do the holding the flame on the purge thing. I really want to get to the bottom of what it is. When you purge a cigar, you blow through that cigar, you light it, the flame holds on. What exactly is burning off? And the best that I can figure is either ammonia or some other byproduct of
Your breath.
your own breath. Yeah.
You're a dragon.
You're a dragon. So I don't know exactly what it is. I really don't. I wish I did. I really do.
Me too.
But it's not to me necessarily like a signifier of the actual quality of the cigar. I think that you can get to a lot of different cigars are going to do that. Whatever builds up in the cigar that will burn off when you blow through it and light it, that is that comes with just about any quality cigar. The thing I do know is that doing it cleans up the quality of the cigar.
Agreed.
For sure. All right.
Purging
me-
works.
Billy, will you read the next one for me?
Yes, this is from Lord
Sinistrous.
Sinistrous. Tim, Flat Earth. When will we be able to jump off?
So you can jump off the edge of first of all, everybody knows that you can't jump off the edge of the earth. I know that was a trick to see if I'm really a flat earther, but there's an ice wall. Okay.
Yeah, there's a wall
On the other side of that
It's
ice
a South
wall,
Pole. It's what we call a South Pole, but it's just an ice wall. It
goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay. All the way around the earth. And for those of you who don't know, we're making a cigar with Oscar Valderas after the daily edition Earth. And by the way, all the cigars we're talking about tonight, you can learn more about them on the community on Cigars Daily Plus, and I encourage that you check them out there. There's an ice wall on the other side of the ice wall. Giants. So to be clear, and I put in a call today. I'm waiting for a call from the factory to see when the what do we call it? The sequel to the Earth by Oscar Valderas, which is called Flat Earth. It is a box pressed version of the Earth by Oscar. The Flat Earth will be on its way very, very soon. All right. What's the next one?
So on the other side of that ice wall, there's no aliens. It's just giants.
Ice giants. Frost giants.
Ice giants. Frost giant.
Ice alien giants?
Yeah. I mean, it could be. Well, first of all, aliens aren't real because outer space is not real. It's a myth.
I don't know. Ask those
There's
astronauts that are stuck up there right now.
Nope. There's a firm. Nope. They're not stuck up there. NASA's a lie, and you know it's in the Bible.
They're just
All right.
sitting in Texas watching Netflix.
That's exactly right. Keep it coming. Peter Jones, get Saka on the phone and ask him about purging flame thing. I'm not sure he'll know or care at all, but I'm super into. I would go ask him about that. Let me see. I'll text him. I might text him later. I don't even think he's in the country right now. I called this morning, and Steve Saka is, I believe, on his way to Germany for their big trade show out there.
Enter Tabak or something.
He's going for Oktoberfest.
He's going for Oktoberfest. We all know that. All right. Keep on cruising, Billy. Get those fine comments from the wonderful people out there. Eric Metzger says, I really like the nub line, but frequently have draw issues. Is there a recommended cut that may help? I go a deep V deep. Terrence, what do you think, man? When was the last time you had a nub anyway?
Ooh, it's been a couple months. I'm not gonna lie, but if he's still having draw issues, I would just recommend throwing a perfect draw through that thing, man. Like it's gonna help you out so much, and it'll save you all the money that you spend on that cigar and then some. Or
that would be my probably go-to as well. Put a perfect draw on it. Yeah. Keep going, Terrence.
So like you can use a knife, your fingernail, a straight cut, a V cut, a punch. It doesn't necessarily matter because if you at least dry draw, cold draw, and you know that you're not going to be getting the draw that you want to out of it, I would just say run a perfect draw through it. And then that way you can have whichever preferred cut you want and still get the flavors that you want as well. And make sure it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I use that perfect draw on my cigars. In fact, I'm getting ready to use it on this. I hate it when there's a draw issue with a daily edition. It doesn't feel quite right. Is there a draw poker in that little drawer there? Looks like a pen. I'll go get mine from my desk. Billy and Terrence, will you read the next comment, please?
Yes, there's a comment for me. I'll take that.
Please.
Dev Boy the Gambler. Hey, Billy. Have you had burn issues with the Billy's bundles? I got a bundle and half of them burned really bad or tunneled. All my other cigars smoked fine. I have not had that, and I've gone through all three pretty significantly. And I wonder if it would be just because it is short filler. You can get a little bit of a
Yeah, I would think it is the given the short filler and the nature of it being just a bundle cigar that they might not be razor sharp burns every single time. And plus, what is a bad burn? Something that I wouldn't touch up, you'd instantly hit it
I'd
with the
instantly
flame.
touch up.
Listen,
So
I'll say this. For burns on those Billy's bundles, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
When you get bundled cigars, and Eric Espinosa has been very open about this on this channel, the binder leaf, the wrapper leaf, it's not grade A binder leaf. It's not grade A wrapper leaf. It's the stuff that cigar makers have to buy when they buy the wrapper leaf. That's the grade that they want. So, I mean, and that's the reason that they're not just like typically half the price of a regular premium cigar. They're like a third of the price. They're like 30% of the price of a regular premium cigar. And in the case of those Billy bundles, way less than that, like 10, 12% of the price. So that being said, the wrapper leaf and binder leaf are typically not the high. They're not the same wrapper leaf you'd put on a $12 cigar. I'll say that. And it wouldn't make sense to put a $12 cigar's wrapper leaf onto a cigar that's less than $2.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us would think that's a great idea.
$1.90.
At the same time, you find that the filler from that is filler that is the trimmings from making those $12 cigars. So it's still nice components to that cigar. But if you're looking for an affordable cigar, yeah, it's going to smoke faster. They're going to burn faster than a long filler cigar. The burn might be a little wobbly. The flavor profile will be a little simpler. The consistency won't be as super consistent. And now I kind of want to weave our way back to the question about improving the draw, because I do have a little bit of a tight draw on this Validacion, and I don't like that at all. So here's what I'm going to do. This is the perfect draw. Okay. It's like this little poker thing. It looks like a pen. You could literally put it in your pocket. Unscrews like this.
Don't take it on an airplane.
And don't take it on an airplane. I'm going to insert it into the cigar, and I'm going to twist it clockwise until I feel sort of an obstruction in here. And once you feel it push into something that it's stopping on, then you pull it basically straight out. And I'll do this a few times. That looks like it right there. Oh, yeah. There we go. I'll do this usually 3 or 4 times just to try to like get everything rocking. I don't know if that's what perfect draw intended with these, but whenever I get a bad draw, I'm just like, I want it fixed lickety split right now. All right, Billy, give me another comment right here.
Wrong one.
Uh-oh.
This one's from Robert Rayburn. Tim, any other cigars that do interesting things like putting pipe tobacco in them besides Stillwell? Of course. Yeah. You know, cigars are such an old school practice now that most of the stuff you're going to see people do that's interesting and different is going to be more or less of a novelty. I've got to be totally honest with you on that. You know, people do. I've seen cigars with absinthe in them, and not like none of the really crazy out there stuff has ever captured me in a wow sort of way. So that being said, there's a couple things to look for in cigars outside of black air cured leaf, and that's what's in a premium cigar. There's a couple of things. One of them is the aromatic type stuff. Stillwell is that. Deadwood is that.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is fire cured stuff.
Yeah.
And that is a very, very old, over 100 years old style of doing leaf. The Kentucky fire cured from Drew Estate is an example of that. Toscano is another great example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Those Toscanos.
So tell them, Billy, because you literally have been the champion of cheroots for so long. And these Toscanos came in and you were like,
I was
what-
just
you-
sitting at your desk before
Yep.
last Monday.
Go for it.
And I just started messing with everything on Tim's desk, as one does when you're sitting at Tim's desk.
That is what happens.
And I was like, what are these? And they are ugly looking cigars. If you can see, let me just.
And
say
they're
this.
cut on both ends as well, so they're super easy to
So you can kind of see they're thicker in the middle than they are on the sides. The only way you can tell which one is the foot is where the band is at, and it is hard. It's like hard.
on the mic.
I've literally had to look at the band and see which way is up to look at which light, which end of light, because
But it's
the
still-
band's
it's
got it in the middle.
Italian friendship cigar. You can literally cut it in
Yeah,
half. and
technically
then
it doesn't
share
really
with
matter, right?
anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
And he had ones that are with hazelnut in it. And let
Oh,
me
bro.
tell you, those hazelnut Toscanos blew my mind.
They smell just like the coffee
Amazing.
creamer. Never had a
Terrence-
hazelnut before.
Terrence won't do the hazelnut ones because he's allergic to nuts. And I don't think there's nuts in it, but I also am not like pushing him to do
Right.
it.
I have my EpiPen here, but do I really want to shoot
Do I
myself in the leg with
really wanna do
$700?
that? Yeah.
But the cool thing with the Toscanos is they're fire cured, so you don't have to humidify them. I leave them in my truck and tested that out this past week, and they smoke perfectly fine in this Arizona heat.
Yes.
No
All right.
humidity.
That's a big, huge win. Keep dropping your cigar comments and questions down below. We're going to come back to them. We got brand new blends here. I got the Aganorsa La Validacion Corojo, an extra body of measure of body and flavor in this cigar. The wrench is on. She says, I just got here. Why does Terrence have a crown on? And Terrence, would you like to tell us about why you have a crown on?
Yes, Miss
By God.
Wrench, Mrs. Allison. This cigar right here, El Rey del Mundo, King of the World Edition, LE, rolled by Aladino, has a Honduran Habano wrapper on it. Absolutely fantastic. Very, very balanced blend. And as me, El Rey del Terrence.
El Rey del Terrence.
Thank you, Tim. It is such a unique experience. And I know I said that Los Dados Deluxe LE was one of my favorite cigars of this year. But these came in Friday, and I've already smoked half a box worth already.
Dang.
Is it taking the cake for you?
Yeah.
Do you ever smoke a cigar that you're like, I know they didn't just make this for my palate, but this feels like it's just for my palate? I get cigars like that. By the way, the Karen Burger by AJ Fernandez, that cigar for me is one of those. Like, it feels like it just hits right down the middle of everything that I'm looking for in a wholesale flavorful cigar. So absolutely. Terrence, how close to the center of the bullseye does that hit for you? And then I need to ask you about the flavor profile.
So this is the thing. I was upset that it wasn't going to be a $6 El Rey del Mundo. I was like, well, this is an El Rey this is who I knew and who loved and came up with. But then I had it, and just the way it struck my palate really impressed me, so much so that I just keep smoking them over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's keep cruising. Drop your cigar comments and questions down below. Billy, what else is the topic of conversation tonight? James Brushaber says, oh, Tim, can you resharpen a quality cutter like Calibres? Dude, this is something about cigar. Well, first of all, I'm going to say this. Yes. Do I know how to do that?
It'd be
No.
tough. That'd be a tough sharp.
It'd be a toughie. You really got to be knowing how to sharpen stuff. I think here's my answer to your question. If you're asking me that, the answer is no.
Just get another one.
Just get another. If you are a sharpener of blades, then you're already probably doing it on your own. And if you're not, then you're probably following the process of planned obsolescence that's built into a lot of accessories. These days, most things are designed to eventually wear out and break. And I'm not just talking about cigar accessories. I'm talking about cars,
Yes.
refrigerators,
Washing machines.
basically everything in your
The
house.
human body.
The human body. Thank you, Terrence. We're trying to make that one last a little bit longer.
I don't know. Everything got plastics in. I'm sorry. That's a tangent for another day.
That's another episode, I think.
Yes.
So when it comes to cutters like that, Calibri doesn't make cheap cutters. They certainly don't make the $10 ones. The $10 ones will wear out a little bit faster. But with those Calibri ones, I got to tell you, if there's a way to sharpen it, it's going to be with somebody who knows a hell of a lot more about that stuff than me. Otherwise, you're going to be looking for another cutter. So,
But you use the same cutter for like you have that Calibri Deep V on your little
SV,
desk
actually.
Yes.
right there.
yes.
And how many cigars do you think you've cut with that?
No clue. Not like couldn't even begin to tell you. In 6.5 years, I have used a Calibri Deep V cutter for every cut, and I think every cigar review. I have owned 2, maybe 3 of them. This one right here is the Calibri SV cutter, which has a straight cutter built into the back and the V cutter built in the front. It's the same Deep V cutter that comes on the Deep V cut. And they've always worked fine for me. But again, at some point, you're going to feel the wear and tear of this blade, right? Like if you cut enough cigars with it.
I disagree because
Terrence, you had yours for a long
I still
time.
got it, and it still feels just
Still
as
got
sharp. I still got it. And I probably had it going on, 5 years, seen thousands of cigars, and it's still
Terren,
just as sharp.
Terrence smokes a obscene number of cigars.
You make it sound like I smoke more cigars than you, Tim.
First of all, it worries people who make cigars. They're worried about it. Like people go home and they're like, "Did you have a good day at work, honey?" And he goes, "I worry about what I'm doing to Terrence. I rolled so many cigars today, but I know he's going to smoke all of them." And they go, "I know, darling. It's hard to shoulder the burden of the El Rey del Terrence." That's how it goes in the homes of cigar makers. And I can't stop it from happening. I can't stop Terrence from doing what he's doing.
Is this why you won't take me to a factory tour? Because I'm just gonna be like stashing the tobacco. All
Because
over my
every time
shirt?
I'm like, I'm gonna bring Terrence, they're like, "No, we can't. We don't. Please, we can't have. We can't."
Do you want to get your cigars within 6 months? Don't bring Terrence.
I remember when I first got into the cigar industry, and I was smoking so many cigars in a day that the patrons were coming up to me being like, "Bro, we're worried about you. We think you're smoking too much." And these are people who come to a cigar shop every single day after they're done with golf, retired guys. And they're seeing how much I'm smoking. And
It's
they're
like
"Well,
being told you're an alcoholic at a bar.
that's exactly right." They're like, "Homie, you're drinking too much of the vodka." Yeah, it's a problem. All right. Drop your cigar comments and questions down below. Crazy Human is the only one of those. So that's pretty good. That's good that you came up with that.
Just the one.
I bet that there wasn't a lot of people in line for that YouTube handle.
No.
Why do people like their V cut deep? Well, and why not a shallow V cut? Well, feels like a shallow cut isn't even an option for that preference. So I'll say this. There's a good reason for this, and I'm going to cut another cigar because this is the one I'm going to smoke after this. I did pull a Karen Burger AJ Fernandez cigar.
That's your torch, Tim.
Are
Thank
those
you, I
that
appreciate it.
dark, or is it just like hold that up next to that? Looks super dark.
It's pretty dark.
It's very dark. They're
Is that
obsidian
what people
black.
say about me sitting next to you?
I think so.
We got a Maduro and a Connecticut.
I don't actually think it would look dark sitting next to Terrence. Here, hand this to Terrence.
Oh,
Don't not catch this.
We got 4 hands.
All right, ready? Wow, that was great. Right into the pocket there.
Yeah, that's even darker than me.
It's
Yep.
even darker.
Yep. It's like
Impressive.
3 or 4 shades. All right. Thank
I'm
you.
walking
Terrence is
this
going to
over.
walk it back over here. I really thank you. I appreciate and respect that. Thank you, man. Very dark cigar is the point of that one. What was the question we were answering?
Why deep, not shallow?
So when it comes to a deep, well, first of all, the only cut that you need is a cut that creates draw.
Yes.
But as somebody who's done the shallow V cut, like you cut it with a shallow V cutter and you're just like, that sucks. Like that's not very good. I hate shallow V cuts. Maybe there are people out there who prefer them. If you prefer a shallow V cut, put it down in the comments so we can make fun of you. But I would say this, the deep V comes with the added benefit that as far as a V cut goes, one of the benefits is sort of this mouthfeel type thing. And the deep V cut definitely gives the gratification of that mouthfeel. Also, if there is a obstruction to the draw near the cap, the deep V can actually pull that out of there. So
Yeah.
there you have it. That'll be my next cigar tonight. All right, let's keep it cruising now. Benny, read the next comment for me, will you?
Sorry.
What are they saying? What are the fine people at home talking about right now?
Pancho Mendoza, CD team. How do you convince your wife to smoke a cigar? What about the side chick, Billy?
Am I the side chick?
No,
Or
I think
are they
you're- I
asking
think
He's
you're
me?
asking you
chickens are
about
your
your
side
side
chicks.
chick, which arguably means he hasn't seen your wife. Like,
He has not seen, but my wife is watching, so this is going to go over really.
this is going to go really well. So first
Yeah.
tell him, Billy, about how your wife, then tell him about your side chick.
I don't know. I didn't have to. Yeah, Billy is the side chick. That's how I read it.
Oh,
Whatever.
Billy is a side chick. All
Oh,
right, I
okay.
get that.
I don't know. I never like went up to my wife and was like, "Smoke this cigar or else." I just was smoking them, and she thought they smelled well, and she did. I don't think you can tell her like you're going to do this, but I would have some infused cigars around. They tend to.
That's the or aromatic ones. Like the
Yes.
other option, other than flavored infused stuff, is like an aromatic, like a Deadwood or a Stillwell Star. Which, by the way, if you're going to go to your wife with the Stillwell Star, make it aromatic number 1, aromatic 22, or the Navy 1056.
Don't talk to her about the 27.
Don't talk to her
Don't
about the
talk to
27.
her about the
Don't
27.
talk to her about
I've
the
tried.
27.
I've
Ian
tried.
Saka admits it's a more esoteric blend. I find this works really well. Go open a cigar brand company and
Oh.
institution, and then make sure that cigars are responsible for paying basically all your bills. And then it should be a pretty natural thing for her to try when there's cigars everywhere. Right? Does your wife smoke with you at all?
No,
Not even a little bit.
never anything.
Does that bother you at all?
No,
More cigars for you, right?
I guess. I mean, she still comes out and talks to me when I'm smoking, so it'd be about the companionship, right? And she still does that. So
Okay, so you still got that camaraderie and like
I got
communion-
camaraderie.
community.
Yeah, I'm just not. I can't share the flavors with her.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll say this. Yeah, Michelle is on. This is Billy's wife. She said, he started me off with fun flavors and sweet wrappers, sucked me right in.
Nice,
Okay.
Billy.
Just gonna move right on. Like there's no jokes to make about that comment. Doop-de-doo, just moving right along. Like nothing's happening there. Boop-de-doo. All right.
Good old sweet Billy.
I did see one that I wanted to take. Somebody asked, did you star it, Billy? Somebody asked why my wife is called the wrench.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, pull that up.
You obviously haven't hung out with Allison.
Hell is just why is Tim's wife called the wrench? One day she Michelle put a skull in the thing. Don't say nothing. One day Allison started commenting and there was just a wrench next to her name, and it worked. She's the wrench now, and that's all she'll ever be. to
Is
all
the
of
wrench
us.
still next to her name, or is that gone now?
Oh no, it's still there.
Oh, the
still
wrench
there.
is
It's
definitely
still
still
there.
there. And now she is the wrench. So I'm thinking about somehow getting a cigar like Filthy Viking and the wrench sticker going.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We also need a Viking sleigh
Viking
sticker.
flag. All right. Keep dropping your cigar comments and questions down below. We're going to get to as many of those as we can tonight. We got a few other things to do here, and we'll come right back to your cigar questions and comments. As far as getting your gal into cigars, flavored and infused stuff is the most natural way to go.
Small
get
ring gauges. too.
Small ring gauges, cigars that taste like
Ranceros.
vanilla or
Coffee.
coffee or chocolate, something like that. Those are typically a little easier on the palate, on the lady palate. And then a lot of gals find that they work their way into traditional stuff. Female cigar smokers, one of the fastest growing segments of the cigar aficionado community out there. And a lot of people do this as their date night. A few of them who even watch this show weekly as their weekly date night together. You sit out on the porch, you watch Cigars Daily Live, you ogle Terrence for a little bit. It's a great time. It's the reason we all show up. All right. Thanks, Pineapple. Appreciate you.
Gotcha.
Haley Trotter, is there going to be Cigartopia news update? There is, absolutely, in just 1 second. First, we got to dive into a segment we do every week on this show called the Cigars Daily Nation Pick of the Week. This comes from the Cigars Daily Nation Facebook group, and I'm going to take Terrence. I want to get the bottom one, and then I want to get the top one.
Okay, yeah.
So the first one comes from Nathan M.
Ah, nice.
This is more of a PSA than it is absolutely anything. Nathan M is in the Facebook group. He says, premium dry boxing achieved extremely low to no humidity. What we're seeing in the picture here is what appears to be two. Is that one or two? That looks like two different.
They're two different
different-
humidors.
Yeah, two different very large cabinet humidors. He says have no humidification in them. And I'm scouring these up and down. I don't see a built-in I don't even see space for a humidifier in either of these.
No, they're just crammed full of cigars.
When you go to an establishment that's not a like brick and mortar proprietor of premium cigars with a walk-in humidor, you gotta pay attention to what's going on. You might get excited until you see one of two things. Number one, the humidity, because typically units like these are not well maintained. And when you do find one that's well maintained, and they're out there for sure, there are some places that take great care of them. And it's usually because the proprietor himself is a cigar smoker. So he'll inform his staff, this has to be kept right for these to be valuable. So that's one thing that'll get you is the humidity. The other thing is price. Typically at establishments that have cigars just kind of jammed into a case on the wall like this is seen as like a revenue grab for them. And so the cigars can be obscenely overpriced. They've got, stars in their eyes for cigars. So I'm always a little weary of these, but I always go over and check them out because I'm never disappointed by what I see. The prices are either obnoxious, the humidity's terrible, or the selection is just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Ian says, is that beef jerky in the corner? Very probably so. All right. Yeah, and there's a lot of name brands in here. Just from what I can see from the grainy picture, I see Acid Cigars.
There's
I see some
Ashton.
Fuentes. I see some Brick Houses.
They've got Southern Draw in there.
They got Southern Draw in there as well. All right. Plenty of good stuff, slowly dying. It's like looking in on a hospice.
Oh my God.
Everything in there is dying. It's like, kill me. And you're like, oh no, should I take one of these home with me? All right. Billy, will you read the next one?
This is a great question. This is from Terrence. Help me out with this one.
I'm Hortensia.
Mr. Rojas, how do I get on pick of the week?
So the Cigars Daily Nation pick of the week are pictures that Terrence, why did you make this face? Terrence switches the camera. Is like, why was it so scary for you?
Because usually, like, if people are like, "Oh, I want to be like asking a bunch of questions like that," it's just like, we'll get to you eventually. But it's one of those things where I feel like it has to be earned. It has to be a epic.
But he can
proportions.
earn it. He just wants to know, how does he earn?
All right. So here's what I'm going to say
Okay,
about
that's
it.
fair.
With pick of the week is literally from the Cigars Daily Nation Facebook group. I'm looking for pictures in the Facebook group that are more than just, here's a picture of my cigar that I'm smoking today, a picture of something that we can have that contributes to the conversation about cigars. I'm going to jump back to the pick of the week, and we're going to take pick of the week number 1 now because we got 2 of them this week. I'll give you a perfect example. This is from Paul B. And he just says, not too bad for a 24th birthday.
That's epic AF.
Yep. If you're on the podcast, here's a perfect silhouette of a man with majestic, long, curly hair. Wearing a baseball cap. Behind his silhouette is an Aurora Borealis. And you can see the
Kim
ember.
Jong-un.
What's that?
All right, Kim Jong-un.
Very real Aurora Borealis. You can see the ember of his lit cigar. I just thought that this was a beautiful picture and a great way to celebrate his 24th birthday until I saw the picture of the celebration of his birthday, which is the next one. Here he is lighting his cigar off the candle that looks like it's stuck in a piece of what might be pie. That could be pie right there.
That's not 3.14.
Yeah. That's
Some kind of cake.
something.
Ish.
Anyway, I've heard people bash people for lighting their cigars off a candle or something like that. He does look like he's about to burn his finger, to be totally fair, but it's also
He ain't got no eyebrows.
low key. It's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. All right.
Have you ever lit like a cigar off of like a fire table or like a candle or anything like that? You just feel super cool afterwards, especially like when you blow back onto it and the whole cherry's lit. Just one of those like movie scene feelings where you're like, yeah, I'm the man.
All right. Joe Dirt says, hell yeah, mullet. All right. Like that stuff. Looks like a cupcake, Tim. That doesn't
No,
look like a
it's not a
cupcake,
cupcake.
even a little bit.
Learn your desserts.
Learn your damn desserts.
That's a
Bernardo.
rhubarb pie there.
That looks like rhubarb pie. If that's anything, it's rhubarb pie. But although,
Wait. What 24-year-old is eating rhubarb pie?
and who the hell gets a candle to stick out of a piece of pie? That's the other thing.
Y'all
This
ever had
very
sweet
well.
potato pie before?
Listen, this is pointless. It's probably cake. Let's just move on with our lives.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's how you get to be pick of the week. You got to have something that I can make fun of. And if you accidentally put something on there that I can make fun of, I'm going to make fun of it. So it's coming up.
Be careful. Be careful what you ask for, Mr. Rojas.
And Mortentia says, Fat Tim is coming back. It's definitely a piece of pie. It's pie for sure. Getting some pie after this. Okay, here we go. All right, keep dropping your cigar comments and questions down below right after a quick update on what's coming up in the world of Cigartopia. I don't have Cigartopia headlines. Headlines should be back next week, but just so you guys can know, the big event is on its way. November 9th, Cigartopia is coming up. Stay tuned for a word from our guests for Cigartopia. In the next week, you're going to personally hear from Laurel Tilly from AJ Fernandez. That's my impression of her, by the way.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
close.
let's go ahead and hold
That's
on
not
to
too
that.
bad, actually.
Pretty-
That's crazy.
Okay, here I am. I'm Laurel Tilly.
Is it going to be like those things where you pay movie stars to like wish you a happy birthday? Like
That's
you pay them
exactly what it's gonna be.
$15.
That's exactly what
Laurel Tilly's like, I'm so excited to come to Cigartopia.
Cigartopia. Laurel Tilly, Justin Andrews. Also, you're going to hear from him. Nick Z from Oliva, who owes me a call back from a text message this morning. Nick Zigley, if I forgot there. And of course, myself and the whole Cigars Daily crew. We are all going to be here at the Cigars Daily HQ for Cigartopia on November 9th. Don't miss it. It is a ticketed event. Those tickets are out there in the wild. You can find them. But this is where we are going to celebrate the freedom that comes with enjoying premium cigars together in one massive event. There's going to be food included in the ticket, and the food is to die for. Out of this world, amazing food from Tom and Lynn Catering, same guys that did Habano Con earlier this year. Stay tuned for that. You can drop comments and questions down below about Cigartopia. We got a few more minutes before we head over to the after party, yeah, on
The
Cigar
after party,
Daily.
yeah.
Plus, all good. Let's see. Texas Taurus is on, says, I like Laurel's micro puffs. She does. She does take dainty little girl
She
puffs
does.
off of her cigar, which is not a normal thing that gals do. Like typically when girls smoke cigars, they just smoke it. Every once in a while, I can tell if a girl doesn't like a cigar, she'll kind of like do those little puffs.
Yeah.
And those little puffs typically come right before they just put the cigar out and they're done with it.
Mhm.
Which happens. Anyway, yes, she does dainty little girl puffs. All right, Billy, take the next comment and read it for me, will you?
Rooster says the wrench keeps Tim's nuts and bolts tight.
No.
Damn, Rooster. That's a pretty big assumption there, buddy. You're really giving her a lot of credit. I'm just kidding. She's a wonderful wife, and she does a great job with the nuts and bolts. All right. Chris Bound. Are all Toscano cigars flavored, fire cured, etc.? All right. Throw me a Toscano pack. I'm pretty sure that clap broke everybody's
Eardrums.
What a terrible
Throw him the other
shot.
one. Throw him the other one.
That
Tim,
was the
heads up.
worst throw.
There's a reason I don't do sports with balls.
No, that's true. You do sports with balls. The sport you do is just more of a like rubbing of balls.
Yeah.
As you really does Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So there's balls involved.
There's a lot of balls.
Be sure there's balls involved. The only one you don't want to do, the only sport you want to play without balls apparently is pole vaulting, as we saw in the Olympics this year.
I did not see a single glimpse of that, and I'm so happy because that's all people were talking about. I was like, I don't watch the Olympics. Go USA, go Djibouti. That's it.
Oops. I'm not a balls guy either.
Shouts out TT.
I'm not a balls guy either. All right. Let me just tell you the story of Toscano real quick. So this Toscano one, and keep in mind, you're going to hear this from me again. And if you're familiar with Toscano, you've probably heard this story. Toscano is a fascinating cigar because they come from Italy. And in Italy, they've been making these cigars since 1875. And in 1875, they used to make cigars really just for the nobility. And like cigars weren't something that you could have if you were a commoner, an everyday man. So this company, the family, the Toscano, I don't know if that's their last name, don't really care. They were making cigars for the nobility, and they got this big shipment of tobacco in. The problem is the whole shipment got completely waterlogged. So they've had all this leaf, and they said, oh no, what are we going to do? We need to make these cigars. We can't do it. We need to dry out all this leaf. So they put it out. It started getting rained on, kept getting wet. They hung it up in curing barns. They said, we're going to burn some woods underneath this and just try to dry it out. And by doing this, they completely and inadvertently created, for the first time, fire-cured leaf. So it literally came from the Toscanos. After that, they came up with all this leaf that they basically were able to roll into very cheap, very ugly cigars. That's what Toscano is today. They sold them to commoners. And today it is the #1 cigar brand in Italy, and it's not the only one. I know it sounds like, well, what other cigar brands are there in Italy? There are several other cigar brands. These are absolutely interesting historical brand. I'm going to be making some content on these. Look forward to that. I do keep those in my truck now, by the way.
100%.
I do. I cruise around, and it's like if I'm just got 15, 20 minutes in the truck,
Yes.
I can just light one up, cruise down the road, feel like $1 million. It feels really good to have them on hand. All right.
So at the end, the answer is yes. It is all fire cured tobacco. Then, right?
All of it is fire cured. Every leaf that goes into a Toscano, and that literally the way they discovered that leaf is how they've been making them ever since.
Nice.
It's unfortunate because I'll go home and smoking a Toscano, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it on my bumper. So when I come out the next day, it's dry fire cured tobacco. I can just come back and smoke it, and I can put any other cigar on my bumper, and it stays there.
Yeah.
The moment I put a Toscano in my ghetto ass neighborhood, it disappears.
Damn. It's like it can
Probably because it looks more like something that starts with a B and ends with lunt.
Well, and some of them are aromatic infused, some of them are not.
Yes.
So if it says aroma on the box, just know it's got a little bit of an infusion. And I'll say this, as somebody who doesn't smoke infused cigars, and I mean like almost ever, I do smoke me some Toscanos.
Yes.
The hazelnut one.
Those are
Kind
The
of
hazelnut
painful.
one is
Fire.
great with black coffee because you don't need the creamer.
The macchiato. Oh, the macchiato in the morning be hidden.
Dan Etling says, looks like a blunt, Terrence.
Elting.
Looks like a blunt. Elting. What did I say? Etling?
Yeah.
I know the guy. I see him almost every day, and I still get it wrong. Damn it.
You
All
were
right.
reading fast. It's okay.
Bunny says, I love when this becomes what the History Channel used to be. I don't know.
where
what that means.
aliens. We start talking about aliens.
That's got to be when we were talking about balls and jiu-jitsu. And if that's the case, then by God, what does the History Channel become?
the History Channel talks nothing about feet.
They might have been talking about the history of the Toscanos.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Billy, what's the next comment looking like, brother man?
Here we go. This one's for Ryan.
Oh,
Ooh, okay. Can I read this one for you, Ryan?
sure.
Our CAO Flathead series, all the same blend, just different sizes with numbers, i.e. the V660, the V54 camshaft, and the V425 spark plug, etc.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
I believe it
Quick
is all
hits.
the
Are you
same
sure you
blend.
don't? Are you sure you don't want to sit in this chair for the episode? Wow, man, that's really.
I do believe they are
Yes.
all the same blend. They are just different sizes. The sizes in the name. Just
They
like,
are. And so
a lot
here's
of
the
engine
thing, you
sizes
know.
like that.
Here's the thing you know about Flathead. A lot of brands out there, if you go from size to size, you get these variations in flavor. With the Flathead, I find there to be a lot of consistency, which is good because not only is Flathead the highest rated CAO cigar that has ever come out, it is the highest rated cigar from CAO's parent company, STG, Scandinavian Tobacco Group, which is the largest premium cigar company in America. They own like 33% of the market share in America. The largest cigar company out there. The CAO Flathead is the highest rated cigar they've ever come out with. Got like a 96 rating in Cigar Aficionado. And from size to size, you find an incredible consistency in that flavor profile. Not very rarely, not always. They'll blend each size to create that consistency of flavor. Sometimes they'll blend one size kind of in the middle like a Toro and then scale it down for Robusto and scale it up for the bigger sizes. With some of them, they blend each size. With Flathead, you do find really nice consistency and flavor. That's a good thing. I like it a lot. All right.
I
wanna-
find that the general flavors are still the same, but I think that the delivery is different. So on like the 554 and like the spark plug,
Mm.
they're a lot more of a in your face, I could say, with the flavor delivery. But when you get up to the 660 and the 770 or even the 860, those have a little bit smoother of a flavor delivery, and they still have that chocolate coffee, like just like Hershey's chocolate bar flavor profile. But this, how it comes off on the palate, is a little bit different between the smaller sizes and the bigger sizes.
Absolutely. I'm going to take one more, and I have to tell you guys, we have run up bumped up on the top edge of what we got for time here on YouTube and Facebook. We are going to go continue this show on the after party on Cigars Daily Plus. It's where you can learn more about the cigars, the brand new stuff that we picked out tonight, which includes Aganorsa's La Validacion daily editions, the Connecticut and the Corojo, both fresh off the container ship or whatever, however they fly it in, I guess. Both fresh off the airplane. Just arrived, daily edition project from Aganorsa. Also, what Terrence is smoking, El Rey del Mundo, King of the World, limited edition, a single release. They're going to do it once, one and done blend with this really interesting like cinnamon and citrus and, to me, cooking spices profile. I found this to be one of the most unique cigars that I've found absolutely anywhere, including Ryan is smoking the CAO Arcana Thunder Smoke, a cigar with very unique, and as far as I can tell, never used before, African leaf in it. And then Billy, I forgot what you were even smoking. Oh, that Don Pepin Vintage.
You remember the word?
Yes, one of the newest My Father cigars out there. And just an absolutely smash hit. I believe Habano or Habano Rosado blend. Very Nicaraguan, very Don Pepin, if you're a fan of Don Pepin Garcia cigars. You can learn more about all those, along with the Fuente y Padron collaboration. Thank God no one picked that. And a couple of the other ones, like we've got the Karen Burger by AJ Fernandez, 25th anniversary. Some other good stuff, including Southern Draws. 10th year, Decennium. Check those out on the community and Cigars Daily Plus. We're going to go to that in just a second. Let's take this one for Ryan. Ryan, tell us about this. Joshua Dillon Beck says, question for Ryan. Have you upgraded your humidor from your grandfather's humidor?
Oh, great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
No, I'm still rocking that one. It's doing the job. I like the way it looks. It's very nice for my aesthetics where I have it in my room, and everything comes out of it tasting fine. So
how often are you
no need
smoking
to
cigars
upgrade.
at home?
Daily.
Well, that's the
I
job.
guess you could
So-
say you smoke cigars
smoke
daily.
cigars daily. Absolutely. I get at least one cigar out there every day, so it does the job.
Nerds. All right. I'm going to take this one from Brian Bennett, and then we're going to go on to the after party. This is going to be important to me personally. Brian Bennett says, Tim, I read on Half Wheel that something is going on with quartz and cigars. Can you give me detail on that? So first of all, there's never just one thing going on with the quartz and cigars. There's always a few things going on. One of those things is the FDA is trying to weasel their way back into the point where they can do the regulation on premium cigars. That is a extremely complicated and convoluted process at this point. I'll probably run that one down for you. The other one is there's a bill that is called like HS 99 or HR 99.
Anything that starts with HR, it isn't good.
Well, this is a bill to exempt premium cigars from a lot of the FDA's regulation.
Okay.
I will be making a video about this upcoming week, so you guys know how to write into your Congress people to ask them to support this bill. It asks for an exemption for premium cigars from FDA regulation with about 4 pages of really good reasons to do it. So watch for a video on that from me. Otherwise, head over to the community on Cigars Daily Plus. Creating an account is free and easy. It requires like your name, username, email, and password. That's basically it. You're in. It's free, and you get more of the best damn cigar content online, including the after party for this episode. We do it on our own servers, guys. The server space is limited, but we ask that you join us over there for this show with even less regulation, less rules, less critique, criticism, and all the stuff that big tech does to us. So thank you so much for joining us here. This is Tim and the crew. We're going to the after party, so we'll see you there, or we'll see you next Monday.
And live your life.